So, hello, this is POME-TALKS, and I'm Bartłomiej Pastuszka, and we are here today with Tolga from Hapag-Lloyd. So, I checked your LinkedIn, and your career has been quite a journey itself, and not only from the perspective of countries, but also companies and roles you've been in. But we'll start about the countries. Tell me, how did you end up in Gdańsk, being from Turkey, working in Singapore, in New York, in Malta? How did you end up here?
All right, yeah. As you said, it's a big journey, but how I ended up in Gdańsk is a quite simple story. Mm-hmm. It's a love story. I'm married to a Polish woman, and yeah, we live in Gdańsk now. But other than that, the story of the country is a bit more complex because two countries you mentioned, one Singapore and other New York, is actually not really happened. They're just the bases of the countries. For Singapore, I was more international because I was sailing back then. And when I was sailing, I cannot say that I was bound to a country. So I think I saw around 30, 40 countries. That's why Singapore included, but I didn't live there. New York, that was the country based, but I actually worked remotely for that role. So I was actually living my hometown, Izmir, in Turkey.
All right.
So much comfortable, I would say.
And of course, you end up here because of love. But how has Gdańsk been for you in general?
Gdańsk is very nice. Despite I came here actually just before COVID, like to move to Gdańsk. Before that, I was living for a while in Szczecin. I actually came to Gdańsk because of the job opportunities. When I moved here, it was a shock because in Turkey I live in a big city, and I was actually kind of asking for it in Poland. Only thing that I could see close to it was Warsaw, and I was never been in Gdańsk before. And when I came here, it was a wild experience that I saw the old town, reminded me of one of my favorite games as well, seeing this winch from Witcher.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and the people are here much open, and I think accepting for foreigners much more than any other cities in Poland, I would say. So,
is it so? And did you manage to establish any new friendships? I suppose so, but while you're here, from Poles or from international people from many cultures?
Both. Mm-hmm. Yeah, both. We actually have some kind of international community here with friends. It's not because I just wanted to meet them. It was occasional because I was taking some Polish courses, doing some other activities, sports and stuff. This is how I met people. Then we just got together, and time to time we meet. Same with my home nationality as well. I also have Turkish friends here, which is great. And Polish friends, of course. I have many of them, and actually not only in Gdańsk, even around other parts of Poland. Time to time we visit each other, they come here, I go there, and it's very international friendship, I would say, in general.
That's great. And do you feel like Gdańsk or generally Tri-City is a place to stay? Or do you wonder what will come next?
Hard question. Yeah. I usually get attached to places where I live. Mm-hmm. I can say that. I'm very attached to my hometown. Izmir is like the west coast of Turkey. And I can say I'm also attached to Gdańsk partially. I like it here. It has pros, many pros. Also cons, especially when it's really touristic season. It's getting hard to live.
That's true. That can get crowded.
Yes. But so far I'm happy here, and I think I will live here. I have no plans to change at the moment. I cannot name a country.
Were you having plans to go back home? Were you wondering about this opportunity?
Maybe, but it's not so easy anymore. After living so much abroad, when I go back home, I realize, I actually like it here. And there are some things that annoy me here. There are some things annoy me there. So it's very hard to find a balance, but I'm more happy here.
All right. So the next journey you had is our companies you worked in. You had many, just to name a few. There was BD Electronics, there was Amazon here in Gdańsk, and now it's Hapag-Lloyd for almost 3 years, which is, I would say, if I'm correct, just looking from LinkedIn, it's the most you've been in a company.
That's correct.
Yeah. So why?
Why? It's a good question. To answer that, I have to actually take a look back and then think about my past. Because by education and by passion from the childhood, I always loved sea and always dreamed on sailing in this kind of stuff.
Yes, you've ended a course, your university maritime course, right?
Exactly. Very similar to courses like you actually have in Gdynia, and I think Gdynia Maritime University.
All right.
It's similar study. I got my diploma from there, and after that I tried sailing for a while, and I realized actually that's not the life I really want. I mean, even though I love sea, I love like nature and ship itself. There was some hardship due to length of the contracts, work conditions. It's not so easy, and because of that I decided, okay, I have to create another plan for myself. So I went into some different parts of work. One of them was in Malta. That was like some trial because I wanted to get into some logistics experience. Purchasing was one of them. And later I did some masters on maritime business administration because I never wanted to get rid of this maritime or like shipping from my blood, let's say. And then I worked in some startups, some very interesting projects and companies about chartering, ship brokering, a lot of communication, met a lot of nice people in the same time. And then I came here. And when I came here, it was more like, okay, I need to find a job that I can speak English or my native language Turkish, because I didn't know any Polish back then. And I can admit it's a hard to learn language, but I'm trying my best. And yeah, I was at Amazon. At Amazon, I worked in 2 different roles. One of them was product safety, which was connected to my native language. Like I was using actively my native language there. And secondly, later I switched teams inside and became more expert in international trade.
All right.
Because it was more connected to my, let's say, passion. Yeah. My past also education as well. And from there was another opportunity actually just by luck popped up and was introduced to me at Hapag-Lloyd. And I was very excited because, as you know, the Hapag-Lloyd is a ship owning company. Yeah. They have their own ships, their own planners, charterers all around the world. And I was like, yes, this is the moment I can actually go back and be again united with my passion, let's say, industry. And that's how I ended up in Hapag-Lloyd.
And how has it been so far? Just generally, first of all, comparing the Hapag-Lloyd experience as an employee to other companies you've worked for, and how you generally view job market here as a place for opportunities.
Okay, I'll start with your last question because I think it is more generic and I can answer it a lot easier.
Yeah.
I say that Poland generally is a great increasing job market for international. So many companies are investing in many different cities, but Gdańsk specifically is one of the, I think, main IT hubs that became in Europe.
That's true.
I was actually reading some articles in Bloomberg about it as well. Like they were saying that it was years ago.
Did you? Oh, that's great.
But quite old, I would say 7 or 10 years ago. It's dated. I don't want to make it up though. I don't want to give exact date. They were saying that the Gdańsk, maybe like Trójmiasto, is the Silicon Valley of Europe. So that sentence is very strong, and in the same time it's very promising and exciting for people like me that likes to work here. That's the first question. And your question, Hapag-Lloyd, and in generally like the work atmosphere in Gdańsk, I can say that it's very inclusive and international. I really appreciate it. My experience here in both companies gave me a lot, but Hapag-Lloyd especially treat me so well because I think as it's my passion, I like to perform and show that how we can do things better, how we can innovate, how we can do new things with new people, also include people and actually share this excitement with them to understand like how they see shipping It's not only ships are going around the sea, there's a lot of technology background, a lot of operations, so many people included. So it was, I mean, it is a great journey.
Okay. You kind of answered this question already, but I would like you to elaborate on that. It's about your roles, because how does one from sailing, from working on a ship, goes through marketing manager to IT product team lead?
Well, I mean, it's a long journey.
Yeah, I suppose so. And it's a very interesting one. It's like, although it's, as you said, it's still in the maritime area, you had so many roles.
Yes. Yes, that's true. How to put it into words, kinda, I can say that I didn't have like 10 years ahead plan that I will become IT team lead or I'll become IT manager. That didn't happen. I knew that I wanted to be in this industry, do my best, and while I'm doing that, find interesting things. That was my personal goal. And by nature, I'm a very curious person. Like, I read a lot, I listen a lot, podcasts, I don't know, articles, and listen some experts in the industry. And when I see something exciting, I dig more. And this is how it happened. I was in operations when I started also, like here at Amazon, it was similar. And then the company gave a lot of opportunities for me to develop myself, which I really appreciate. And due to my personal interest, I kind of delved into IT industry.
All right.
That's how it started. But then, because of that, thanks to that, I got a role as a, first of all, EDI developer at Hapag-Lloyd. That also taught me a lot. And I'm very thankful for all the managers I had so far, all the teammates I have so far, because they taught me a lot. They trusted me because I didn't have that experience. Like, IT is very, huge topic. You can have one experience in it, but if you don't know some other technologies, it's relearning from the scratch. But I think my curiosity and learning, character helped in that.
All right. And as you said, you have a new role in Hapag-Lloyd, kind of fresh one, to be fair.
Yes.
How has it been for you so far? And could you maybe tell me what is your role exactly? What's your everyday life, let's say, in your work?
I can. I'm excited about it actually, because it's, as you said, it's quite fresh role. And yeah, so right now I'm the Fleet IT Products team lead at Hapag-Lloyd office, which is a growing team that we have. It's a new team in Gdańsk, but it is not a new team in Hapag-Lloyd. So the teams we have, teams I cooperate daily basis, is international. We have our operational team and product managers, leads in Hamburg, staying there in the headquarters. We have teams in Chennai. So on daily basis, I'm in touch with them. And I have a team here which is full of experts. I'm in touch with them, and we have so many operational stakeholders that is dealing with fleet operations. So when I say fleet operations, it's about everything like you can think of. I don't know, crew management, bunkering, engine sensors, and operations in the shore side as well. The applications that we are associates use in the offices, about planning, about capacity, and other than that, so many different vendors, like all about communication, all about planning and being organized, because we have so much things. That's my fleet IT journey. Like, this is how it started and how it is going. But there's a lot to do, and I'm very excited to go.
That's great. And yeah, there's a lot to do, and that kind of goes with my next question. How's the work culture itself here? Do you see more difference when going from Poland to, for example, American company or Maltian company, or do you see more difference about the country you work for or the company itself? And how has it been for you when it comes to just work culture here?
Well, I mean, I can easily say that every company I worked with, it has a different culture. And I think it is affected by their headquarters generally, or the culture that was like flourished from. And it's very normal and very natural thing. But in Poland, I worked in companies that are not Polish-based. So the culture itself here is a bit, let's say, it is more diverse. Because Polish companies here, let's say, or offices are creating diversity actually in the companies that are working with. For example, American one and Polish one, very different work cultures. And when I was working, we were actually looking for the harmony to get the best part of both and create a better environment. I think this is what diversity actually brings. Same with Hapag-Lloyd. And it's a German-based company. Even though we are so close, Poland, Germany, very different work cultures.
Yes.
You might experience that, exactly. But again, like there are pros and cons in both. And as a leader, it's really important to find out, actually see the both best parts and combine them together to fuse it, to create something more diverse, more inclusive and better for company itself. Because in the end, company is an entity. It doesn't live like organically, but it actually lives and, let's say, contains every employee within it. Yeah?
Okay, so you said this many times that things have pros and cons.
Yes.
So my next question for you is the biggest two pros about living here and two biggest cons.
Ooh, hard question starts, I think. Yeah, biggest two pros. Yeah, at Hapag-Lloyd, I can say that two big pros, people are trusting each other and they're not afraid to let you do things. Sorry, I think I got attacked by a mosquito or something.
Right. Yeah, there are some things flying here.
Yeah, it's fine. So what I was saying that, yeah, they trust you and they allow you to do things in your way. And when they see result out of it, they are not afraid to recognize you and celebrate with you. That's very great environment I have here. That's one big pro. And I think can even be counted for two.
All right.
But I can give one more. The hospitality at workplace I have is amazing. Like I never felt that I am treated differently, or I never felt that I'm looked by, let's say, Polish community differently, even though I'm not Polish. People are very welcoming, very hospitable, and I kind of find that quite similar to my culture, which is nice.
That's great.
That's another pro. So I don't feel like very homesick with this. And cons, yeah. One biggest con I would say, being far from parents, family, it's hard. Yeah. Being expat and living abroad is one of the biggest cons. But more professionally, if you would ask me, I think time constraints. Time management is very hard. But by culture, there are two different work cultures and people have different priorities.
All right.
So finding this balance is very hard. And sometimes my personal, let's say my background, my back culture clashes with that. So I can say that's another con. But it is another con that in a negative way.
All right.
It's actually teaching me.
And yeah, you are also a person. I found it on your also LinkedIn profile that someone has wrote about you, that you're very eager to learn. So I would say just as well, what is, if you could say maybe one or two things that you value the most that you've learned over these years of your career?
Yes, yeah, definitely. First of all, biggest thing I learned is the problems are there. They will always be there, but it's never about the people. So never bring problems on people. Just look at the problem and work together with everyone that you can bring in and to solve the problem.
Yeah. You're a team after all.
Yes. That's one of the biggest things I learned. And second thing is trust the people you work with and allow them to do their work as they wish. Just observe them, and whenever they need help or you see them struggle, be there, assist them, and walk this journey together with them.
Yeah, mosquitoes are still trying to attack you.
Yeah,
All right. So ending, and just the last question. You obviously worked with many cultures, probably here, but is there any advice or advices that you would give for someone who wonders about, first of all, coming here to Pomerania, to Gdańsk, or just maybe just is thinking about pursuing his career abroad?
Okay, yeah, I would keep that question specifically to here.
Yeah.
First thing, if you are coming from a warm country, be ready for the cold winters. So know that, yeah, it is cold. Even though I like cold weather, the problem I don't like is that dark sky in winter.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
That can get depressing sometimes, even
Yes.
for us.
Yes, but after many years now I'm coping with that. It's not so hard, but in the beginning it was a big shock. I didn't expect sunset to have very early, in very early hours.
Yeah.
On personal level, like people that wants to go abroad for their first experience or change a country, the most important thing I think they should do is to be open-minded. Like they are not there to change people. They are gonna work with them, so they should be open-minded, respectful, and also never, let's say, give up on your values.
Right, thank you. Is there anything you would like to add?
Yeah, actually yes, because at the moment I want to say like Hapag-Lloyd, we are really hiring a lot of people, and there is very interesting project that I want to mention. We are looking for experienced people, very like senior level Kafka developers, and that's a technology that we are actually our ERP systems are depending on, and all the network we have is going to depending on. It's a growing project. It's a very interesting project. So if you see the job descriptions, announcements somewhere like in job platforms, feel free to reach out.
Yeah, the links are also will be in the description of the video.
Wonderful.
So check out.
Yes, please check out.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, likewise.